Putting your belly out.
Bump is pumping.
Get that big belly away.
A massive beer belly.
Do you feel it's a pure belly?
Yes.
Or do you feel it's pregnancy belly?
No, I think it's pregnancy belly, but sometimes when I look at it and it pops out my t-shirt, it's like one of those like old men who's
On the pints.
yeah, and they refuse to buy a t-shirt that's the right size for them because they don't think they've put on weight.
That the phase you're in then?
Yeah.
Nice, I like
I'm
it.
refusing to buy more t-shirts.
I like it. Right, well, nice wee introduction. Welcome back to Bulletproof Studios. Today's podcast, we are going to jump into 5 habits. Have you got? Many habits have you got?
Well, I said bring 2.5 each.
2.5 each, right. So this is today's episode is going to be about 5 habits that every successful business owner follows. And
Follow.
Or more or less should follow. I think there is a couple of different characters or categories of business owners or founders, and although you can have an amount of success of running that business and financial freedom, there's a lot of things that when you break it down, some of those habits don't necessarily define their success. So we'll talk about that and see where we get to with it.
I would agree, because why dream it when you can live it?
I was listening to a AI guy. What? Oh, is that another Pitbull fucking quote?
Yeah.
Is it?
That's my Pitbull quote of the
Oh,
week. Why
Jesus.
dream it when
I thought you
can
were
live
just
it?
trying to hit out with some wisdom. I was like, okay.
That's my Pitbull quote of the week.
Why dream it when you can live it?
Why?
And funny you say that, because the podcast I was listening to this morning was an AI guy that was on it, and he said that if you don't build a business that's fun, then what's the point? And I really understood that. He says that's the number one rule for him when he's building a business. And he then went on to say, well, most people start their own business because they want the freedom to do fun things. And it's like, well, why not just make your business the fun part?
I don't know if I agree with that.
I know I was thinking that this morning, but that's like living your life to its terms.
Not that I don't agree with that. Like, we have fun all the time, but running a business can't always be fun. And a lot of the boring businesses are probably one of the most profitable and most successful businesses. Like, this is now going on a tangent. Do you see when people say follow your passion? Do you think that's right, or do you think that's a bit bullshit?
Depends on the context.
If someone's saying they can't start their own business yet because they've not found what their passion is, so they're waiting to find their passion.
Yeah.
And once they find a passion, they're going to start their business, and their business is going to succeed.
Obviously, that's different.
Well,
So
I think
why
that's
wait?
similar. Yeah, well, but it's like your business needs to be fun. Like, define fun.
But that was the point he was making. So the fun part is making money to create
Yeah, I get
financial
that.
and geographical freedom.
Like, I get that part,
Right.
but then it's like, so your business has to be fun. Like, because you said there, like, you're doing that because totally get that's why you run a business and stuff like that. But then if you want it to be fun as well, I don't think that can always be the case.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say our business is fun?
Yeah.
Right then.
Yeah, but I don't
Talk
think
about it.
But if you own a waste company,
Maybe they enjoy
maybe
waste.
they do, but like, see, like the boring things, or like that podcast, Cody Sanchez, she was talking about the most boring businesses, like waste removal, air conditioning units, they kind of things are like some of the most successful ones, but they're so boring. Like car wash companies.
No, but they're boring to you, and they're boring to her, to the founders, to the owners. I bet you they're not boring.
Do you think they're having fun?
100%. Yeah, I think they do, because how do you have fun? You have banter with people, you do things that you like, you do what X, Y, and Z. But a part of that, where that business can be fun, is hiring a team of people that you enjoy to be around as well. So, I don't know. Where did this even come from?
On your podcast. you said
Oh,
you
yeah.
listened to.
So his was all about the hiring. And he says it's because I think the question that was asked was, how do you separate from being friends with your employees and seeing them as a friendship, or as someone that you need to have difficult conversations with sometimes? And he's like, he's a world-renowned coach, and he's like, he's coached his brother, his sister, his wife, etc. And he says one thing he was really good at was separating those boundaries. And then he went on to say the whole business side of things.
Do you think me and you are good at separating the boundaries with me, like me and you? I was just to say the coach is his wife.
No.
I don't think we're very good.
No.
I think it's
You
something.
don't take feedback very well.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. I'm being you on my honest opinion. That could be next episode. Honest, raw, business owner opinions of the other founder.
I think it would just be like an argument.
No, it won't.
You don't take
I
feedback
know.
very well.
I know. I was
I
like,
think we both, with each other, we don't
I'm
deliver.
always right.
We don't deliver and provide feedback. That's something we've acknowledged we need to work on.
Speaking of knowledge, then, how would you rate this week's business?
Busy.
Why?
Oh,
Why do you think it's been busy?
it's been very busy. It's been another, like, because the last week we were saying how we had so many podcasts, studio bookings, we had 61 pieces of content. I've not added up how many pieces of content last week, but I feel could be around a similar level. I don't think as much, but it's just been so busy, which again is really good because we've not even scratched the surface on the content that we want to do, which again is our fault. But
Yeah, I feel we're behind with that.
yeah, I think we
I'm
are.
actually really disappointed with like how our business is running just now. When I say disappointed, like if you want my raw opinion, like I genuinely am annoyed that where we're at with the business side of things just now. Do you almost feel like a fraud sometimes? It's like, why are we, I don't know, there's like things that we're doing. I'm like, why are we doing this just now? This builds, like we have episode 1 and we say, right, we're a content social media marketing agency, whatever. And then we start doing things that don't necessarily align with that.
Like what?
Just things.
Like what?
Like,
I agree. We're not doing enough like content and stuff like that. Like we tell people do more content. And
yeah, that's
we're
what I
not
mean.
doing
Like,
enough,
that's what I mean. I feel like
we're
a
not
fraud
doing
when
things that don't align.
that well.
We're just not doing things.
That's what I mean. It doesn't align. Like we're time's been spent doing actual tasks of things that need to get done. Admin like you said, admin and all this is dead born. But as a business, like our time needs to be spent on growing the business, and right now we're spent on doing the do. So
yeah, and I think that's a thing that a lot of business owners face when they're at a stage where their business is very busy, like ours is just now. So we're spending a lot of time on doing work for our clients, which is what pays the bills. But then it's right, we also need to think of working on the business and how to bring in more clients. I think it is a really tricky balance to get, because you get to the stage, right, we might soon think, right, we need to hire someone else in the company, but then we need to have recurring revenue to have that other person come in. Because right now I think we've probably got enough work to bring someone else in, but it's then obviously that's going to take a dip in money, if that makes sense. So I feel it's a really tricky balance. Like when we brought Fraser into the team, it was the right decision to make, but I don't know if we'd have made that decision if he wasn't a friend. And that goes back to your thing, because we trusted him. Like if we had to go out and go for a random person, I
you
think
say
it would
right
take us
decision
longer.
to make. I think on principle on paper, probably not. Don't think it was the right decision to make. I'm glad we've done it, and it's great that we've got him in and he's helping out with stuff, but the workload isn't there. Like the payments that come in, the workload isn't there to support someone's wages. We're not even supporting ourselves through our own wages just now.
That's what happened to your business owner.
No, it's not. It's not. That's not fun. When you talk about fun, by the way, there'll be people out there says, how can run a marketing agency be fun? When we go out and have our date nights, how can that be fun? When you talk about business. So that's my point. See?
Okay.
Business can be fun. Anyway, yeah, it's a good week. I think it's good. Like it's good that the bare minimum content we're putting out there is actually generated. Paul, Gavin. Now, people won't know who they are. I'm not going to say their actual businesses, but maybe the rugby one. 7 leads in the last 2 weeks. It's pretty good for organic content.
And we're not even pushing it enough is what we should. So imagine if we actually did push it more.
Well, that should be a priority.
There, we've said it on camera now that...
we said it last week in camera.
No, we're going to book in a content session with me and Fraser this week. Plan.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I think it was a good week. I also would like to highlight, like on Saturday, I done basically a 9-hour shift standing while pregnant.
How?
Kenny's gig.
9 hours, is that what we were?
Yeah.
Was it?
We arrived at the venue at 3 and didn't leave till 11.
It's
8.
not 9 hours.
That's 8.
Yeah.
Go me.
Jill got some chicken selects and dropped them on the floor and still ate them.
It's not what happened.
It's
It's
pretty
not what
mean.
happened.
Of a pub, basically.
It's not what happened.
You ate chicken selects off a pub
No,
floor.
I
That's
never.
fucking rotten.
No, I never.
But yeah, last week, good week, business-wise, a lot. I don't know how busy it compares to in terms of the podcast front, because there was probably more content things last week. But yeah, it was a good week overall. It was good to see things starting to snowball a wee bit.
Last week we also had our first guest on the podcast, which was a really, really good episode. So that's coming out on Friday. I won't really say much about what it is, or will we?
Well, if you're listening to this when it's released 2 days from now, there'll be another podcast. We sat down with Jade.
Okay, we're soon.
Yeah, I think why not? We posted in our stories.
Oh, yes, we did.
It's not as if why I hate that whole something new's coming. Like I understand the marketing strategy behind it, but it pisses me off, man. That's like just say what it is.
Do you
Man.
think it's as bad as when people check in at A&E on their Facebook?
They're completely different things.
I think it's the same.
No, they're not. But yeah, to wrap up last week, I would say we finished. Like the content sessions we're doing on those Saturday nights and that, like they're good. It's good to be in that environment. It gets you thinking a wee bit differently how the business should be going. But that's my point. Like we're still very much in the doing of the do. Those 8 hours spent doing camera work, the content ideas, the filming, the editing, the scripting, all that sort of stuff. That's part of our business. But we're still doing that, and that's the thing I'm frustrated at, because I'm like, I thought we'd be at a point by now where some of that workload could be let go. But we're still very much hands-on with that sort of stuff. How many people do you think we need to support the workload that we want?
If you want to be only working on the business, so like getting the leads, doing that kind of stuff, like not actually doing the doing.
That's not on the business.
Right, okay. Well, like running the business, we need another 2 people because it would need to replace me and you. At least. That's what I mean, at least.
2 is generous.
To,
And then we need at least 5.
Yeah, like to
5,
start
6
off
people.
with, because if we wanted me and you to like lift up and work on the business and how to actually grow it and make it more,
Manage it.
and stuff like that, you would need to replace me and you to start with. But the thing is, like as a business owner, you're willing to put in very long hours, you're willing to work 7 days a week because it's your business. But if we hired 2 people, you can't expect them to do that. You can expect them to work their, I don't know what a work week is. Is it 40 hours? 38? I don't know what.
But yeah, 40 hours.
I don't know what it is. So technically you might need more because we do more than 40 hours a week.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like I'm saying you would
What do you think's going to happen come March when you have a
I don't
baby?
know. I'm just
Eh?
keep
What do you think
thinking
those
that
hours are
way.
going to go? They're
I
just going
don't
to get
know.
absorbed by me and one other person?
No, I think we're going to need someone else.
Yeah.
If you're interested, let's
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
It's a
Yeah.
genuine thing though, if anyone's like interested.
We're not in a
Chat
position
us.
to hire. The problem we need to
I'm
solve just now
talking
is a
about
lead.
in the future.
Yeah.
I would rather someone who's listened to our podcast to want to come work with us rather than average Joe off the street.
Nothing wrong with average Joe. Or average Jill.
That's why I never said Jill, because Jill is not average. Jill is spectacular.
Right, hit us with it.
As with what?
Your first habit. Let's get into it.
Oh, I thought you'd go first.
Why?
I'd just like you to go first.
So 5 habits that every successful business owner should probably be doing. Is that what we're going
and
with?
caveat on this, the ones that you're given, do you believe we're doing them or it's like you want to strive to be doing them?
Yeah, a bit of mix.
Okay, cool.
This one we definitely do, and I stand by it, and that is working out first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
I think if you're not your health comes before anything. It comes before relationship. It comes before people, family.
People.
It comes before business. Like health has to be the number one priority. I've
Yeah.
seen it.
I would agree with that because I think people might think that's selfish, but if you can't, it's the basic thing. If you can't look after yourself, you can't look after anybody else.
And the hard thing about this is we're at a stage just now where we are young and we have time on our side, we have youth, but as we start to age, some of that starts to deteriorate. Like we all get older, there's things we can do to slow it down, but if we're not prioritising our health, and I'll probably this fell into another category here, but it was around nutrition. I guess this kind of ties into the same point. But if you're not looking after that window, so how many people have we came across, or even when you're just listening to the whole like top entrepreneurs of the world, and the common theme is they spent their 20s and 30s trying to become financially free, and then spend all their financial freedom on trying to become healthy. Just like, yes, there's the hustle and the grind and all that sort of stuff, but what's going to make me more resilient and more productive, I would argue, is getting those workouts in.
Yeah, and I don't think, like, because you're saying, like, the hustle and the grind, I think you can still do that. I hate those words, hustle and grind. But I feel you can still...
Why?
Because it's just...
Why would you hate about them?
It's just so... It's like icky.
Why?
It's just icky words. Like,
Icky's just as bad as hustle and grind.
No,
then.
hustle and grind is just like the wee white boys on a podcast being like, oh, you need hustle,
Well,
hustle
welcome
every
to the
day.
White Boy podcast.
No.
You're one of us.
No, I'm not.
One of us. One of us.
Like, you need to grind every day, no days off.
What's wrong with that?
That I'm not saying the mentality, it's icky. Like, just stop speaking
Right, sorry,
like
what
that.
were you saying?
The
hustle and grind.
Yeah, like, you can still have a very strong work ethic and have that mentality of working to build your business, but still stay healthy. Like, I don't think it's saying, like, you can't hustle and grind if you work out. Do you know what I mean? I think it's part of it, because to enable to hustle and grind, you need to be healthy. Someone give me a definition, another a thesaurus word for hustle and grind, because I hate it.
Working hard.
Yeah, that's it.
Morning, I mean particularly in the morning, because I think Hormozy's big on the first 4 hours of your day working on your business, like doing some form of lead generation or cold outreach or warm out, like whatever it is. He's like the first 4 hours dedicate that to that. Something we know, David Hatt, like he's very much in that routine and rhythm where the first 4 hour work block of his day is on the business. But I don't know, I think there's just something for me that too much can go wrong, and I think that's the argument to work on your business, is nothing can distract you, and those morning hours are so precious to what you can do and how that can set up your day. But for me, the workout side of things, if I don't get it done in there, I just know it's not going to happen. There's times that I'm more motivated and I'm working out with people. Maybe there's group classes that you may do, so you're more committed to going. But I just don't know. I think there's, for me, what's worked is get that in the morning, and then the day can be attacked head on.
No, I'd agree, because I think once I've done my morning workout, I feel better than anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, something I've done my workout.
I'm better than you.
Like, I actually feel like it's stupid, but I'm like, people haven't done their workout yet, and I have, and it's only 7 o'clock. Like, I feel really good, because it is like, by the end of the day, you're tired, you want to have dinner, you want to wind down. Personally, I don't really want to be then doing a workout that gets me energised again.
Do you think you'll change your routine next year then?
I think the baby will dictate the routine to begin with. I still hope,
I'll fast forward to like 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months post pregnancy.
I think it'll all still depend on how the baby is. You don't know how. It's like what Jen and Mark were saying on their podcast. Like, Jen was saying, like, her baby's better than him because it's like she sleeps, but not all babies sleep like that. So, like, it depends what it is. Like, I hope I still manage to, like, get up in the morning, get a walk of some kind, then hopefully a workout, but I have no idea what it'll be like. And I'm pretty sure parents will be watching this being like, But also we are very privileged in that we have our own gym, so it's going to be a lot easier for me, and I recognise that. I
think one thing I'll circle back to, I think I said workout in the morning, but even just exercising first thing, because the walk can be that a little bit of light, steady state cardio, just something that ticks that box of... The thing I like most about it is the working on yourself. I think there's a big part, it's again back to that question. I know it seems a bit cheesy and cringy, but why do you run your own business? Like, what's the purpose? What's the reason? What's the passion behind it? And to have your own freedom of your time, how much money you can earn, maybe even geographical freedom. Like, so many little pockets that will mean more to various different people, but nothing matters if you don't look after yourself. And you have to show up when you're you have to show up in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s. Like, you it's always something you're continuously showing up for, but sometimes you leave it too late and then you're trying to claw back some of those times, and truly you can never really fully get that time back.
Yeah. And I think an easy way to do it is get a dog, because if we didn't get out in the morning, he'd have something to say about it.
I know, but some people don't, and they have dogs.
Yeah, well,
which is a shame.
Shame on them.
Exactly. Right, that was habit number 1 then. Number 2.
Number 2, mine is about, this sounds woo-woo the way I'm going to say it, but I don't know the other way to say it, like protecting your energy.
Okay, elaborate.
Okay. So I think there's a lot of things out there. I don't know if it's not our generation, I think it's a generation below us, that it's all about like they need the work-life balance and they need the balance of the friends, the family, the work.
I would say that's our generation.
It is our generation as well, but I think it's, what are we, Gen Z? Millennials? I don't know. I think it's a lot of our generation, but like they're saying they need the work-life balance, but I don't think there is a such thing as work-life balance. I think it's like seasons. So I think you're in a season of building your business, or if you're listening to this and you're not a business owner, but maybe you're in a corporate career, you're in a season of climbing that ladder, trying to get promoted, doing that, whatever you're doing. So I think you need to understand, like, you can't have that balance, because you can't, if you're okay putting in like 30% of the work and then putting in like going to see your friends, your family, your whatever hobbies, stuff like that, you need to be fine then that you're going to get only 30% of the output. You can't expect to put in that work and then get exceptional output, if that makes sense.
So what do you mean by protecting your energy?
So I think then, like, you need to like say no to the things that don't serve you in that season.
Ah, right, okay.
So like if
I thought where you were going with this was the people you hang around with.
No,
I know that's got to do with it.
Is that as well? So like let's say our season right now is building our business and making this the best business we can have, and I feel what I'm about to say is going to bite me in the butt when I ask you, can we go to the cinema, or can we go do this? But like that is your priority, so you need to then protect your energy, that you're not putting your energy into other things. Like, have you got 10 groups of friends who all want you to go out at the weekend? Luckily we don't. But
we have no friends. No, I'm kidding. Jill's got friends. I have 2. One of them's blood related.
I think I say one of them's a dog.
Another one's a dog.
Yeah, so it's like protecting where you put that energy. So our next season of life is going to be balancing the business and a baby. So we are going to need to say no to a lot of other things, because you can't do everything. And I don't believe there is such a thing of having a balance to have everything. Like, I remember I put, remember that LinkedIn post when I was a LinkedIn girl? I wrote a thing because I kept seeing all this stuff about how women can have it all, and you can have the career, you can have the baby, you can have the social life. And I'm like, that's just not a thing. You physically can't. Like, you will burn out within 1 second because you can't have everything all at once. And I think you just need to be okay with that. Like, you're in a season of raising your kids, great. You're in a season of building your business. If you're in a more social season, that's fine, but you need to then expect that the other parts of your life will then slip away slightly. And I think you need to be okay with that and protecting yourself by saying no to the other parts.
Mm. I agree. I would also like say, because a lot of people think this is your hustle and grind culture, you can do it all. Now you can do more in terms of the input, but it's at what cost?
Mm-hmm.
So to the last point, the habits in the morning, getting up and working out, but let's say there's something that happens at the end of the day and you start working till like 2-3 in the morning, well, that's going to impact you getting up in the morning. So it's like this full lens it needs to be taken into consideration. Now there's times where we've burnt the candle at both ends, but it's a necessary evil because of whatever's happened that day or whatever's happening throughout that week, and it just means it's a late night gig or it's a late night thing that we signed up to. So the next day will be impacted, but it's getting back to those habits the day after. The habit of like protecting your energy, see where you're coming from, but definitely I would say more around the people you decide to spend time with.
Mm-hmm.
A big part of my entrepreneurial journey so far, I've had a lot of friends or a lot of peers in the space who were in the same sort of crowd as me, but their negative opinions on how things should be ran. One of the biggest one was if you cared about making money, then it was almost frowned upon. So then it made me feel awkward if I was like, but I want to build a business where I do have financial freedom, because the life that I'm living just now, like, it's not sustainable. And it's not as if I'm doing tons of things, like nice things. Like, I want to be able to go on holiday and not worry about the hotel that I'm picking or the destination that I'm going. I just want to go because of the sake of going. And it's not as if I thrive on luxurious things, but something as simple as, like, it'd be awesome to go on one of those dog flights in a private jet, like, to take my dog to wherever it is in the world. And it's like,
not even
oh, it's going to cost me 10 grand. It's like, right, okay, like, is it worth that? No, I could drive to France and all that sort of stuff. So we'll look at those things. But a lot of people kill your dreams and you don't even realise it. And you just think that you're the outlier, or the idea that you have or the perception you have of life is wrong because those around you have a perception that's massively different for yours, but there's a common theme with them. So definitely. And I think it's also having the confidence to go after your own thing.
Yeah, I don't really think it's a like I've said that's a habit. I think that's just like a
But that's what I was meaning. Is like, how do you make it?
sorry.
Like, what is the habit that you turn it into?
I think it's just keep like having that at the forefront of your mind. Like, if you're then becoming into burnout because you're trying to say yes to everything, like, it's okay to say no. No is a one-word sentence.
It's from my coaching days as well.
I like that no is a one-word sentence. Like, no, because I'm really bad at that. If I like say no,
Have a drink? No.
Oh, I don't drink. But
No, but how common is that? That's the most common one. It's like,
no,
why are you not drinking? It's like,
I don't.
I just don't drink.
Yeah.
Like, but why can't I have one? It's like, no is my answer. Like, move
It
on.
also doesn't mean you're not fun when you protect your energy.
Yeah, it's like
because you're doing the fun business stuff.
exactly.
But it is like, I think, like, not a lot of people will understand it unless they are in the same situation, if they are business owners. Like, I've got a few friends that I'm lucky that they do understand it. They, like, if I'm like, I'm really busy, I can't meet this weekend because I've got, like, our business is so busy, we're trying to set everything up and all that kind of stuff. Like, they, like, my two best friends, I feel like, really understand that. They don't get like, oh, I've not seen you, so you don't care type thing.
Well, that brings me nicely on to the next point, habit number 3. Put time into your month or your week, whatever schedule works for you best, but have time on a regular basis where you see friends and family. I think that's very important. And when I say friends and family to me is like, we are fortunate, we run it. We have our dog that comes up with Cooper, comes to work with us. Soon we're going to have a baby girl and she's going to be in that sort of working environment anyway. So we're not going to be constrained, or I don't know what it'll look like, but I know it won't look like the standard man or woman who's running their business where it's separated from their partner and their family. And I think there is a lot to be said about creating space and time where you work on that relationship and it's away from all the noise and all that sort of stuff, because at the end of the day, that's why you do it.
Yeah,
it's very, very hard.
Unless there is some rogue people out there that just go into business because they don't like their life, but like,
but that's
because we like our life.
Yeah, that's on you, and that's probably why you struggle with other things. Then,
yeah.
If this is like truly becoming not even the best business owner, but the best individual to run a business and live the life that you want, this is the habits that I would live by. Number 1, working on your health. Number 2, choosing those who you spend the most time with. And number 3, actually spending time with your friends and family. I'll be honest, that's one of the reasons I don't have many friends, is because a lot of my time spent on the pursuit of business. But that's a choice that I made, and there's a bit of it where it's like, right, I need to make sure I'm making time to spend time with my friends, even though we're maybe not on the same journeys and we all have different things, different interests. But at the end of the day, it's like, then what is a friendship then? You know what I mean? That's like the hard one, and that's why there's a lot of friends who I used to be really, really close with that I'm not close with anymore, and it's just because our paths were different. But what's been nice about seeing how you and your friends are, you've been friends since high school with a lot of them in uni, and there's different paths, but you all have, like, I don't know, like women just, I don't know.
I think it's a
women just
thing.
You just thrive better in groups and all that sort of stuff, and it's nice to see. But what I like about your friendship group is there is times like you get friends who've got 2 kids, a third one on the way. Everybody's got children. You're like, so there's 3 of you who don't have kids, but you guys still all made time to see each other and all that.
Yeah,
and I'm over here going, don't really have time to like see my pals or see friends and that. But that was a choice I'd make, because I don't know, I feel I thrive better on the loneliness side of thing.
I think it's all with you, like, you thrive and stuff when you socialise. It's not It's like going back to the drinking thing. Like, if when I decided not to drink or stop drinking, like me and my friends, that didn't like affect their relationships because we weren't really big party people. Like, I don't know if it is just like that women mature faster than men, because a lot of your friends, and it's not in like against them, but a lot of them still go out drinking every weekend, or people you used to be friends with drinking every weekend watching football, which is your probably idea of hell, like sitting in a pub watching football all
But
weekend.
that's their idea of
I
fun.
know,
That's what I mean.
that's
Like,
what I mean. But like,
it's
I
not
think
for me to judge.
Yeah, I'm not judging at all. I'm just saying like that's what their idea of fun is. Whereas that doesn't align with what you find fun. Whereas when I go out with my friends, we do things, even if it is just like catching up properly. But I just don't think guys, like, if you go out with one of your friends, I'm like, oh, what was so and so saying? Nothing. And I'm like, how could you be together for 2 hours and you have nothing to tell me?
Different dynamics, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's what I mean.
But I think what's important for everyone's like mental health and mental clarity and just the overall health bucket is spending time. Even us, like, what would you say last week for like relationship wise? I feel we've been good, but I feel last week was quite a busy week. It flew in.
Yeah, it did flew in. I think like me and your relationship wise is fine, but we probably just didn't have a lot of. No, it's weird because I feel if you say to people like, oh, we didn't have a lot of time together, it's like you see each other 24/7, you're on a podcast and
What do you think so?
we work together. I think if we like, I don't think people get that. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm spending time with Dale because I've not properly seen him all week, but it's like you've been with him 24/7.
But that's something like we need to probably look at having a date night.
Yeah.
This week, weekend or night, or next week, like creating that space where even if we speak about business, but just creating the space where we go out for food or we do something different.
Fun.
We're going to do that with lunch, but then you shut the bed.
Well,
not literally, like you just like you're dead fussy with trying to pick food.
The only options you were giving me was McDonald's or Subway.
No, there was other thing. You know, you should have went Tipsy Cow.
We only had half an hour.
Yeah, still.
Anyway.
Right, so point 3, spending time. Point 4.
Oh yeah, I thought I was point 3. Mine is keep learning. So I think a habit that all business owners, and even not just business owners, again, because I'm thinking, I don't know if anyone will listen to this who isn't a business owner, but
Self-development.
yeah, like they're in a corporate career or whatever, you need to keep learning. Like, I think now, because you think, right, I'm a business owner, I'm not getting any time to do my own self-development, whether that is listening to podcasts, reading educational books, whether it is taking a course, whatever it is, or even just reading. Like, I get a lot of marketing emails sent to me, which is about how to develop your podcast. Like, I get a podcast email sent to me every day. I get a marketing email sent to me every day. Even taking time out your day to read them, to brush up on what's happening in the industry, what trends are happening, or then from your point of view, self-development, I think is super important, because me and you have never been business owners up until now type thing. We've not been fully business owners where we have an employee. Like, yes, you've coached people in the past in your corporate career, so have I, but I think it's completely different when you've got your own company. Like, you're not, like, you need to put more effort into it.
Yeah, but you listen, this is, again, I don't know if anyone would listen to podcasts who aren't running their own business. You've done it for years.
Yeah, that's me. I used to listen to podcasts.
Yeah. So like there will be and you done it not because maybe there was a dream of running your own business. It's like, I find this entertaining. I'm actually enjoying learning. I
remember that was, like, side note, one of the flags that I was like, I need to leave this company, when I mentioned Alex Hormozy to someone, because I said it was in my last job, and I said something that Alex Hormozy had said, and like referring like about leadership and stuff like that, and they were like, oh, who's Alex Hormozy? And I was like, oh no. It's like, no, like, I
said it to George and Caitlin in here. They didn't know who he was as well. I'm like, he's the business goat, the marketing goat. Well, and I just think, but you know what that goes to show you, it doesn't matter, like, we're all in our own little bubble, and all the content and stuff that we consume, there's so much of it out there. That guy I was listening to this morning, I went on his Instagram page, it's like 8.6 million
that's the first time I heard of it.
Instagram followers, and a YouTube channel with over 15 million. I was like, I've never heard of this guy, but I find it so fascinating. So how have I never heard of this guy until now? He had an interesting life, by the way. He wants to just travel to 28 different countries with his wife and his 2 kids that are under 6. But he's talking about how he hired someone that's going to fly around with them, and their main responsibility is health for their kids, education, and then whatever. But he was like, just in case me and my wife will want to dart across to maybe another island one day, like she'll be the responsibility. I was like, that's crazy. Crazy life.
Should other like thing for
No, I was
homeschool.
just, I don't think I would.
Island school.
Island school. But it's all about, he's trying to develop the culture in his children. So he wants them to see all the different parts of the world. And I was like, that's the level of financial freedom I would like to get.
I think that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
But yeah, I think that's an important one. And then I think on a side note to that is like unlearning, if that makes sense. So like you might be like a lot of business owners, a lot of people, like they've learned, we've had this topic or discussion a few times, like this was a trend, this is how it used to be, or this is the way we've done it, so this is how we'll always do it. I think it's like changing your mindset or changing your mind if something happens. Like you need to like not be stuck in your ways. Like we've said stuff with like when we were editing videos, we'll argue being like, oh, it needs to be 90 seconds for Instagram, and you're like, where is the evidence? I was like, I read that 6 months ago, and you're like, social media has changed so quickly.
Yeah.
So like unlearning and being able to like step back and think, right, is this the right way, even though I've read a book or read whatever.
I think take the emotion out of your opinions is probably the biggest one there.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to do because you're emotionally engaged, and it's hard to hard to disconnect.
I think the habit then behind that one would be like blocking time out for learning, whether that is when you're doing your morning workout or your morning walk, you listen to a podcast, or whether or not you put a couple of hours every week or every day, depending what you want to do a course, to watch YouTube videos. That's the thing. It doesn't need to be like a lot of people, and you think like, we want you to learn this or we want you to train in this. It's like, all right, I need to go do a course. It's like, just watch a YouTube video. Like the amount of education out there that's free, like there is no reason that you shouldn't be developing.
Yep.
When I was doing the ironing yesterday, should I have been watching Nobody Wants This, or should I have been watching an educational video? Probably that.
When was the last time you watched an educational YouTube video?
Well, I listen to podcasts more.
I know, that's what I mean. Like, but YouTube's a good play.
I know, I just said that, but I'm more of a...
Your attention span struggles with YouTube, I feel.
I don't think it does.
It does, because you choose to put it on at night time, and then you're like... I'm like, this was a really good investor story. Like, let's watch this together. And I'm like fully engaged, and I turn over and you're like...
Also,
grown. I was going to say your grown life, so like...
If I'm sitting down and not talking for more than 10 minutes, it's most likely I'm going to be sleeping. But I think there's that part as well, like, because a lot of the time I'm like, yeah, I'll listen to that podcast or do watch that YouTube video at night, when I know that's, like you just said, that's not the time for me to do it. So I need to like start thinking of, right, how can I put time within my day? Because it's even not business stuff. Like I'm trying to read a book on hypnobirthing for birth, and I started reading it at night, which was the worst thing I could do, because it started then talking about body functions and the anatomy, and I'm like, I can't remember this, I'm falling asleep. So like I need to put in time. I feel that could be a Sunday task for me, because time is ticking on that.
Yeah, I think a habit, which I didn't have down here, but a habit definitely I would like to do more of, would be scheduling my days into work blocks.
That. I've only just got you using a calendar.
No, but
it's taking me a lot of time.
Do you know what I mean? Like the whole just freeballing the whole day and not have it, like the only schedule we have throughout the week is when people are booked in for clients. Around that, we don't have anything that we necessarily schedule in. I never had that as a habit. It's definitely something that is so important to do. I know that a lot of my sort of peers that are running their own different businesses, they all work by schedules, and it works really well. But the fifth habit, the last habit I had here, would be getting up and going to bed at the same times. And I think when I say the same times, I don't mean just get up at 9 o'clock and then go to bed at 10, but creating space in the morning. So there's two parts to this. I think getting up a couple of hours before you normally would is a key skill and discipline tactic that every person, I'm not even say business owner, but every business owner, entrepreneur, founder, individual can lean on heavily, that helps them with this self-development stuff that we spoke about. So if you get up a couple hours early, you can habit stack tasks, like get your workout in, get your educational stuff in, and
it sounds like, so like a lot of time it sounds like not woo-woo, but it's like you see all these entrepreneurs, these business coaches, it's like, yeah, just get up, do this, read your 5 pages, but they're all saying it because it works. There's a reason why everybody says it.
There's a hype behind it. And
it's not as if it needs to be like a cold plunge, an infrared sauna. It's not as deep as that, unless you want it to be, but it's literally like getting up, make your bed, and
Brush your teeth.
brush your teeth, like just do a bit of self-development or your exercise, whatever it is. And it might be people being like, no, I want a afternoon workout because that is what their schedule's like. It's like just do that block.
But still, I would still recommend like the same time every morning, where possible. You can set your alarm and get up. And I think this is going to be a really interesting dynamic for us because I've always said in my health and fitness advice that I'd give to people, I was like, look, get up in the morning, get bed at the same time of night. The only people this excludes is mums and newborn babies because unlucky,
What
like,
about dads? What about dads?
Well, dads as well. But
Yeah.
the unfortunate part here is like it's one of these chapters of life where you just need to suck it up, and I'll be interested to see because I'll have probably a different lens where I can maybe communicate a wee bit differently on it, but I would like to think I'm going to try and stick to some of those habits because they are so important to me.
In 6 months' time, we'll redo this episode with the little baby sitting here.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can do them all or if we're going to be eating our words.
Fine.
I think it's different because like there's not a huge amount of people who do run a business with their spouse. So I think that's the difference between me and you. It could make it a lot easier. It could make it a lot harder because there's both sides of it. There's the side where it's going to be harder because if I was in a corporate career, I'd be taking maternity leave and I'd be getting paid and there wouldn't be a financial pressure on us or as much as a financial pressure because I know there still would be with money because you don't get paid the full thing. But we're both business owners of the same business. So it's like
if you're putting in 90 hours of work.
Yeah, like I'm going to disappear for a bit.
Yep.
Which I just can't really imagine. Can you imagine it?
Yeah.
Oh, because I don't do work anyway.
I was going to say that. I was like, because you do 90 hours, but 60 hours of them you're watching Desperate Housewives. I'm only joking. It was a joke.
Wow.
It was a joke.
Wow.
It was a joke.
I watched Desperate Housewives in years.
Grey's Anatomy then.
But yeah, so I think it's going to be like there is going to be a lot of pressure on us to.
And that's why I think so. The struggle or the bottleneck of our business just now is a very steady state of lead generation coming in. Mm-hmm. And right now it's been coming through organic content, even though there's been very minimal efforts put into that. But the podcast is one that we're only on week 4, week 5 of sort of doing this. The strategy of bringing guests on and reaching wider audiences, these are all stuff that we'll be able to speak more about in the coming weeks and months. But I think because we were sitting down before this and we were like, what do we do today's episode on? We'll do the recap of the week, but what's the theme? And it was like, oh, why don't we just stick to the things that we've done or what's working for us? And that's what came to mind. I was like, because we were both up here this morning and we were working out, and I was like, this is such a good habit that we've got instilled into our lives. And okay, there's things that we're not great at, or there's things that we're not doing, or our business isn't where we want it to be. I don't think it ever will be, but I
don't think any business owner will.
No, it's like health and fitness, isn't it? If you want to be the fastest person, like you're never truly going to be the fastest person unless you go to like Olympic levels, but there'll always be races that you do and you're like, I want to be faster next time. Same with lifting. I want to be stronger next time.
It's like what we said with Jade on her guest episode. I was like, what is your ambition for like 10, 20 years, whatever it's going to be? And she was like, I want to just be on a Monday afternoon in the shower to have an afternoon tea and like I don't need worry. And I'm like, you'd be bored with that. I'm like, I can guarantee you if that's you, a month later you'll be like, right, I've started another business because I want to do more. I want to do, like, you've got that drive and entrepreneurial spirit in you. So I think it's the same as everything. Like, you're never going to get to the stage where you're like, right, I'm happy with my business, I'll just sit back.
Yeah.
Unless you're like 80.
Maybe, you never know. That guy I was listening to this morning, he said a kid had came up to him and asked him for some advice because he was waiting to start and whatever, and he wanted to be the next Elon Musk or whatever it was. He says the kid was like 14 or something. He sat down with him and he was like, a part of like Elon's principle was like, look at your 5-year plan and think about what does it take to do that in the next 6 months. Mm-hmm. Might not achieve it, but having that like, and I was like, fuck, that's an interesting way of looking at it. Because I remember when I interviewed David on the Mindset podcast that we used to do, I remember him looking at a long-term vision. Like I had a 15-year plan, but then the next follow-up to it is like, right, in those 15 years of what you want to achieve, say you wanted to do that in the next 6 months, what would have to happen? Would need to hire this person, need to be doing this, X, Y, Z, and that gets you to forward think so much quicker. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to think of things. Maybe we exercise like that.
What's the saying? Like, you underestimate what you can do. No,
Overestimate what
overestimate what you can do in 1 year, but underestimate what you can do in 5 years.
Other way about.
That's what I said, and you corrected me.
No, I thought you were going to say the short
Oh,
one
right,
first,
okay.
sorry.
So you underestimate what you can do in 1 year, but overestimate what you can do in 5 years?
No, other way about.
That's what I said the first time.
Right. You overestimate what you can do in 5 years,
No, that's what I just said.
but underestimate what you can do in the next 6 months. You never said that.
Overestimate what you can do in 1 year and you underestimate what you can do in 5. I believe that. That's what I was trying to say.
All right, no, that's not on highlighting my point then.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying you overestimate, like a lot of people do that. You overestimate what you can do in 1 year. You're like, in 1 year, because like people do think in their business, like 1 year is all it's going to take and I'm going to be financially free. It's like, right, but what about the next 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever?
Butchered that one, didn't I?
Yeah, totally.
Anything else you want to say on the habit side of things? Did you have another half a point?
No, I think kind of like you've cleared them up. I think it's just like we say these habits are what every business owner should follow. We don't follow them as best we should. I think it's stuff we want to implement and make sure that we're doing. And I think, like we say, that it's going to change very drastically in the next 3 months.
Yeah, and it will, but the habits that won't be changing will be everything that we said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they may look different, but I'd like to think that, okay, the workouts every morning might not be a thing, but exercise will still be a part of our daily routine.
Yeah.
There's a part of recovery and all this sort of stuff as well, obviously, but the important part here is that exercise and working on your health is so vital, like the nutrition and all that sort of stuff that comes along with it. I think the business sort of demographic of the founders and owners are the first ones to let that's the first thing that goes, because it's back to your point, I'm happy to work 90 hours a week.
Yeah.
Well, how can you work 90 hours a week? Where's the time for you, your self-development, your scheduling, your sleep, all these things that are important to you as an individual? That means nothing if you're in an early grave.
It's like, it is going back to like those seasons of life I was talking about. Like, you can only do that for a certain season. And if it is when you're like launching the business, it's like, I'm going to be working 90 hours for the next couple of months, like that. Like, if you're committed to doing that, that's fine, because you know it's temporary, but you know at one point you are going to burn out. Like, I think there's the definition of burnout is different for a lot of people.
I think the skill of work ethic can be developed though, because some people's work ethics, like I've seen it with people who just come from the corporate background, and I'm like, you struggle to work any more earlier than 9 and later than 4, but that's because that's what you've been conditioned to.
Yeah, that's what it's been drilled into.
But years of kind of working on that skill, you can work hard, or you can extend that.
Yeah, and I think those habits are they're kind of like almost behavioural. I think there's probably another episode in like 5 habits you should do as a business owner, where it's things like more functional things like knowing your finances, like doing your content, all that kind of stuff, like knowing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, those are very top level behavioural stuff, but I think it's equally as important.
Very important.
Your business can't run without you if you're dead.
Or it can.
That's a bit Bill quote.
Right, that's a good way to wrap up today's episode. Thank you to everyone for tuning in this far. If you made it to this part of the episode, there's one thing we're going to ask you to do, and that is leave a rating on the show. If you're watching/listening on Spotify, you can leave a 5-star rating by clicking the 3 wee dots, and consider following as well. This is the best way to support us in the show and help us reach more like-minded individuals like yourself. If you're over on YouTube, hit subscribe. And even leave a wee comment. Don't be shy to leave a comment on what you think. Maybe there's a habit that you do that you find absolutely valuable and you want to share it. Let us know.
Or if you think our habits were rubbish, then also.
Well, you probably wouldn't have made it this far, I don't think.
Yeah, but
or if you did,
you might be controversial and want to add something in. Go for it. And if you're just listening to Spotify, you should head over to YouTube and watch our Challenger series, which episode 2 came out last Friday, which is a bit more lighthearted and fun, where every other Friday, me and Dale challenge each other on a different game. And this week I found out information about Tony Hawk that I didn't know. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Jill thought Tony Hawk was
you
a
can't tell me.
BMX rider. Like, it's just, that is wild, absolutely wild. But
I'm
it
going
makes
to
for
ask you a
good laughs.
question next week
Yeah,
that's
ask me
like...
something about fashion.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
will. I'll do that.
Sounds good.
And then tune in on Friday for Jade's episode. It's very good.
Yep.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.